back to my channel. Today we're going to do a little tour and I'll give you a little explanation about my upstairs grow space. I have three main growing areas. The actual main one is downstairs on my north facing deck, which I have a video of, and another one is downstairs my Phalaenopsis grow area, which I also have a couple of videos of, so check them out. But before I begin this video, I just want to make a quick apology. It's about 9 AM on a Saturday morning here and I just got back from work, but I started work at 7 AM yesterday and I work in a hospital and I slept at the hospital. I was on call overnight and got about 2 or 3 hours sleep, so I'm pretty tired, but my plan is to stay awake today. I've got my coffee. And it's the never-ending dilemma for the shift worker, and if you're a shift worker I'm sure you understand, but I don't have to work this weekend, so I'd rather stay awake and be able to sleep tonight and have a regular sleep-wake cycle rather than sleep now, be awake tonight. Oh my god, it's just a battle, but I'm sure many people out there can relate. So it's just going to be a day of maybe micro naps, but I'm not going to do very much. But I will do this video mainly to stay awake. So here we go. Okay, so I've got this tier of shelves here and this one here, and this is a very large window with a western aspect. Now the main issue I have on my back deck is that it's outdoors. And A, I have run out of space because I've bought so many orchids in the last year, but B, also our winters consistently drop below 10 degrees Celsius, and at night we have had lows of minimum 5. I don't think it's gotten below that, but 5 degrees Celsius is probably around just under 40 Fahrenheit. So there's heaps of orchids that just won't tolerate that. And the main ones I keep out there are the Cattleyas, Cymbidiums, all the cool growers. All my Oncidiums are out there and they're doing just fine. But there's all the warm growers that I had to move elsewhere. And last year I did used to keep them against an east-facing window, which was perfect. But they are now building a very large house next door, which is blocked off what once was excellent light. So I've had to find a new space, and I've set this up pretty much at the beginning of June or maybe mid-May. It's been working really well through winter, so it gets direct afternoon light, but it's still fairly cool. But that's how it is at the moment. In summer it is a different story, and I'm just gonna have to play it by ear in summer. This space gets full-blown western sun and it's hot. The blinds I have up block all the light, so I'll either have to put up a sheer curtain of some sort, or I may even invest in getting those windows glazed so I can keep this space. But the combination of that heat and direct sunlight may be too much for some of these, so we'll see. I do also have some other north-facing windows at the back of the house, so we may reshuffle. But for now, in winter, this is working so well at the moment, and there are plants here that are just thriving. The only one that isn't thriving, I'll show it to you now because it's just dying. I have not done well with this Cattleya at all. This poor little Laelia purpurata, which I was, excuse that. Don't ask me why I have a unicorn beanie, but I do. But this plant is just doing so badly. I repotted it and I did something wrong. It hated it, hated it. It had plump pseudobulbs and I ruined it. And actually it's the only one that hasn't been tolerating the light out there. It's gotten hot leaves, it's gotten some damage, it's gotten really wrinkly. You know, I repotted it when this was growing and it's grown, but it's super floppy. but on the upside there is like a root growing there. Anyway, I hope it survives, but we'll see. So we'll start with this top shelf here. So mostly these guys are all Dendrobiums. These are donation Dendrobiums from my grandma. She's in her 90s now. She's trying to offload all her plants, and I seem to have inherited a lot of her orchids. She gave me about 6 or 7 in January this year, and they're all in really poor state. These guys didn't really have any roots, and that is a keiki of that plant, but they've sort of taken off since I repotted them. They've both got new growths. All that is new root growth down here, and this one's got a couple of new growths as well. I'm not sure what the flowers look like on that one. This is a Phalaenopsis type Dendrobium, and I'll put a little picture. It's just recently flowered, but it's done flowering now. You guys have met this guy. Very nice Oncidium plant. These flowers have been out for about a month now, and I'll just remind you what they look like because they are too cute. So this is the bottom shelf. I'll introduce you to my baby Psychopsis Mendenhall Hildos, and I got it last year, near flowering size. This year it's brought out 1, 2 new growths, so I hope it flowers this year. But you can see the foliage is very, very pretty. It's very cardboardy, so very pretty even without flowers, but please flower for me, little Psychopsis. We've got my 2 Maxillaria tenuifolia. The reason I have 2 is I got this one first and it was meant to be flowering size, but it came with 2 tiny pseudobulbs and it finished growing that one there. But it's grown 2 very plump new pseudobulbs in my care, which have finished plumping up and are bringing down new roots. So I don't think it's going to flower. I think it's too small, but this one's got some new growths coming up too. So I've got a few species of phals sitting here. Phal violacea, which had some flowers earlier this year. Beautiful, beautiful flowers. I'll put them up. And it started growing another flower from here a couple of months ago, but the temperatures dropped and it just blasted, so it's just having a little rest now. Falbellina, I do have a seedling already, a tiny one. I'm kind of sick of waiting for it to grow, so I got a bigger one, and this should be near flowering size, I hope. And Phal gigantea was just on the website as well, so I got it. But I didn't realise what I was getting myself into, and I will place a picture of like a mature plant there, but apparently the leaves grow to 60 to 90 centimetres, so that's 2 or 3 feet, and a mature, like a flowering size plant is about 8 to 12 years old. So I think I will be 50 by the time we see flowers on this one, but maybe I'll still have a YouTube channel then, who knows. So on this side, lots of Dendrobiums, but we do have one Oncidium here. It's a Colmanara Wildcat Bloodshot, and last year I got it, and it was in flower. It had 2 bulbs, and when I repotted it this year, I found 1 good root. But I managed to grow this pseudobulb. It's rooting now, and it's up here because of the sun, and I was hoping it would flower for me, and look, it's growing like bigger than the last pseudobulb, but it's just not flowering for me. And I noticed this morning, and I am praying for a flower spike, but I have a sneaky suspicion that that is a new growth, which is very disappointing because I thought I was such a good mum. You guys have met Mr. Paphiopedilum here. He's in quite a few videos, but we'll say hello, Mr. Paphiopedilum. Dendrobium spectabile I got recently, and it hasn't done anything for me since. I was hoping it would be flowering for me, but it hasn't, so we'll see what happens with that one. Dendrobium firewings. I've had some bad luck with this guy, and this is the newest growth actually, if you'll believe it, but it had a few bulbs and I potted this plant too deep and it was outside and they rotted, so I lost 3 pseudobulbs and only recently lost one more. And if you can see there, I've done some more surgery on it last week. That's some cinnamon there, but I think hopefully the rotting stopped. But since then, this newest pseudobulb has lost 2 leaves, so it's not doing fantastic. These 2 dendrobiums I got maybe last year. They're both growing very well, but I've never seen any flowers from either of them. This is a Dendrobium samurai and this is Dendrobium green apples. This guy has a new growth and some new roots, and this is growing this new growth here. So they both look pretty healthy. I repotted them both earlier this year, but still no flowers, guys, come on. So this is the second shelf here, not much going on here. You've met my Patio. There's a Brassivola nodosa there, which I got from the same vendor, the flowering side vendor, and yeah, it's looking pretty sad. So this is my Doritus. It's actually a Doritus pulcherrima variation Chompanense, I believe, and I got it bare root, and when I planted it, it yellowed off these 2 upper leaves and they dropped off. So I didn't know if it was because of transport, it was something I was doing, but I ended up moving it up here from the Phalaenopsis area because I was planning to just grow it like a Phalaenopsis, but it seems to like it up here better. It's grown that leaf and that leaf. It's warmer and brighter up here, which maybe is the slight difference between the Phalaenopsis and the Doritus, but actually the Doritus is in the Phalaenopsis family now, and they freely sort of breed the Doritus and Phalaenopsis together to get the DTPS, Dorita Phalaenopsis hybrids. Alright, so we're on to the last shelf here. We've got a guest appearance by Mr. Toby, who I think wants to go outside, but you'll just have to wait for 2 seconds, Toby. I've got my Catasetums, which were outside, but I got a pseudobulb that went yellow and rotted off, so I moved them all in here where it's a bit warmer. They're mostly seedlings, and I don't have a lot of experience with them, but I got some a few weeks ago actually, and they're all in mid-growth. I got them with the species Phalaenopsis, and it's the middle of winter here, so it's really not ideal, and I have no idea what I'm doing with them, but I've just continued to water them because look, they're actively growing at the moment. So if you guys have any advice, please let me know. Just doing what I think is best. I've got some Cattleya seedlings back there, but a few of the Catasetums are actually coming out of dormancy, and you can see this guy's got a new growth there. Those guys have new growths. So I'll show you guys this one. I'm sorry, I had to get Toby a bed because he's cold. Anyway, but I wanted to show you guys the roots coming out of this guy because they are so cool. I still haven't started watering him yet because he hasn't started leafing out, and it's only really in the last couple of days this back bulb's gotten a bit shrivelly. I haven't started watering any of them yet actually. And I'll finish off with these guys because they're too cute, but the little nubbins that come out are really cute, and look how tiny these are. Look at the little growths that are coming out. Oh, is it just me? I find this absolutely adorable. cute they are. And this one, gosh, he's looking a bit worse for the wear, isn't he? Look how shriveled that is. Might actually have to give him a little spray, but he's got a new growth there too. Okay guys, thanks very much for tuning in. I apologise that it's not such an informative video. I just wanted to share with you where I grow these plants. I've got a little breeze coming in now, which is lovely. I will put little photos, thumbnails of flowers in the corners of what the flowers should look like, or if they've already flowered. But I think I am just going to chill out for the rest of the day and watch some Netflix now, so I will see you guys next time. Bye!